The BoyFriend hat decreased crown. Today we are working the decreased crown or shaping the top of the BoyFriend hat, and it is unique because it uses this mock crochet stitch called diamond lace, and we'll be working this shaped pattern in the stitch pattern as we go. It's unique to this particular project. You can make them in different sizes. The pattern makes a women's size and a men's size, but as long as your cast on is divisible by 8, you can make any size hat and use these instructions. So let's begin. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. To get your pattern for the BoyFriend hat, click on the link in the description below. This one is on knitting needles, and if you are a loom knitter, we will have that link in a few weeks. So be sure and check out our website and subscribe to the newsletter so you stay in the know. All right, so in our pattern here, you will see that we actually have links to cast on. So you'll want to stop by our videos and we'll put the links down below here to cast on circular needles, which is what I'm using here, or on DPNs, double pointed needles, and then a separate video for the diamond lace stitch. It contains instructions for working it as a flat panel and in the round. You're going to want to work these in the round. If you make your swatch in a flat panel, it's fine. Just know that you might be a little bit looser on the flat than you are on the in the round if you make your swatch in the round, but just go ahead and use the cast on stitches recommended. You definitely want to make sure that stitches you cast on are divisible by 8. And then this right here in the video says link coming soon because that is this video here, and we are going to be shaping the top of the hat. So we're not going to cover anything beyond just the shaping of the hat. So let's just dive right into that. As a reminder, this is an intermediate level. It's not something that you're going to be working for the very first time. If you've ever shaped a hat before, it's not an easier pattern to learn. However, you can do it with these instructions here. You will need stitch markers. As a reminder, you needed one for the beginning of the round, but now that we're starting to shape, we're going to have a bunch of them in another color, and so you'll need 7 to 9 stitch markers in a totally different color, and that marks these different sections we're going to be decreasing, and it's going to really help you keep track of where you are. If you don't have them, it's going to be harder to work the pattern. I want to point out in the abbreviations, you've now done everything except for this SSK TBL. So slip, slip, knit through the back loop. It's done a little bit different than you think. You're going to slip one knitwise, and then you're going to slip one purlwise, and then knit both stitches through the back loop. And I'll show you a left and right hand version. So if you need either version, left or right, go click down the link below and find that video. Then we're going to be skipping over here. You've already done your brim and your knitting to your length and the accent. So now we're on this page here where I have gotten it to the length that I need, 5 inches for the women's and 6 inches for the men's. And then we start our decrease round. So round 1 right here, I just want to kind of go over the written instructions just for a moment, and then I'll be setting this aside. We're going to be working the repeated diamond lace stitch pattern, and then we work until we have 6 stitches on our right hand needle, and the yarn is actually coming from that 6th stitch. And it's very important because then we start doing our decrease, and I'll go over exactly how that is. And then we place a marker after we've worked it, and then now we know between our beginning marker and our new marker we have a certain number of stitches, and each round will specify how many there are. And then when we get to the very, very end of all of our stitches, so we just repeat that section back and forth, and then we'll have a certain number remaining. And this happens on every round, and so we have those different numbers written, and you'll see it in just a moment. And then we also have written how many stitches remain after the decrease, so if you want to double check and count everything. So you'll have a bunch of stitches left. Then you'll also have all those extra stitch markers. You will need to get rid of them on the next round, on your second and alternate rounds, by repeating the diamond lace stitch pattern. And as you come across one of those red, mine are red, those extra stitch markers, you just remove them and set them aside, continue that round, and then you do another decrease round. then you'll repeat by taking off all those stitch markers and doing it again. It actually works much better doing it that way. It's a little tedious, but it has really pretty results. So we're going to dive right in, shaping on round 1. All right, so we've knit to the length that we want in our hat. I've got my yarn coming from this very last stitch before the stitch marker, and this is where I want to start making my diamond lace stitches until I have 6 over here that are completed with the yarn coming from the back of that 6th stitch. So I'm going to skip that first one, and we're going to knit through the back loop, that second one, slip those stitches over, okay, and now we're going to work that first stitch through the back loop. Okay, and then we're going to slip the next stitch and work the next one through the back loop, slip them back over, and then knit the first one through the back loop. Okay, so this right here, you can see that I have my stitch marker, and I've got 1, 2 stitches because this yarn is coming from the second stitch. So continue working that pattern. Pause your video when you get to the 6th stitch. I'm going to keep going here. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then this next stitch kind of tugs like it wants to be worked, and this is where we are ready to begin the rest of our instructions. So we work until 6 stitches are on the right needle and the working yarn is coming from that 6th stitch. To do the decrease, we're going to slip 1 purlwise, just like we normally would do with that particular stitch. Then we're going to SSK through the back loop. So we're going to slip knitwise, and then we're going to slip purlwise, and then we're going to knit through the back loop. So we're just going to put this needle, the one we just used, in front, and then we're going to work through the back loop, both of them together. Okay, and now we need to slip these stitches back over. So slip these 2, come back over, and then we need to work this stitch because it was slipped, remember? And we need to work that in the back loop. And now, after we've done that, we're going to place a marker right here. Okay, so it's before you move this one that you're very tempted to do because it's kind of a tight spot there. Just grab a marker and place it. There we go. And now you should have 7 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're just going to continue working them that same way. We're going to slip 1, knit through the back loop, move them over, and knit through the back loop, slip it, work, knit through the back loop, slip the 2 back over, knit in the back loop, and continue on until you have 6 more just like you did, and keep placing your marker. Pause your video and I'll meet you back up when we are on the last section. See you in a minute. Okay, so I'm on the last section, and by the way, I did end up having an extra stitch marker, so for this size I actually only needed 8, but if you jump up to the next size, 80 or 96, you'll need an extra stitch marker or 2. If you happen to get 4 stitches per inch, that's what I got on this one versus the 3 on the other one, then you'll need to cast on 72 stitches or 96 for the larger one. So just a little bit of pop quiz and some numbers if you need that. Okay, so this last section in round 1 should have 8 stitches left, which is this first one that we're going to be slipping. And then we've got 7 here, and I've got the right amount here, so let's just keep going. We're going to work basically 1 stitch than we did over here where we had done 6 and then kept going on a decrease. So we're actually going to be working 5 stitches done on this needle here. So go ahead and work the 5 and stop. Okay, I've got my 5. And then we're going to slip 1 purlwise and do this slip to the back loop. So knitwise, slipping, purlwise, slipping, and work those 2 stitches together through the back loop, and then slip the 2 stitches back over, and then knit through the back loop. And then you're just going to continue on with it actually just has you knit through the back loop, and you have 1 more stitch here. So you're going to slip this last stitch and continue working your next round, which is those alternate rounds I talked about. You're just going to be working that diamond lace stitch all the way around and taking off all of your extra colored stitch markers. Leave the first stitch marker on there. So even though the stitch isn't getting worked now for a second, because I'm moving on to the next round, I'm still going to do the part where I slip the stitch marker, I knit the first stitch, okay, and then I pick both these stitches back up and the stitch marker, slip them over, and then I work that last stitch that had been slipped previous, okay, and then slip my stitch marker and continue moving along on round 2 and taking these stitch markers off as I go. So go ahead and work that, pause your video and meet me back up when you are ready for round 3 of the decrease. See you soon. All right, so we've worked our extra round, put our extra stitch markers here, and now we're ready for round 3, another decrease round. So you are just going to be working 1 less stitch on this needle here than you did the previous decrease round in this first little wedge. So before we worked 6 stitches with the yarn coming from the 6th stitch, and now we're going to work 5. So I've got my stitch marker and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The working yarn is coming from here. I've already slipped my stitch right here purlwise, and now I want to work my decrease. Again, the decrease is slip 1 stitch knitwise, slip 1 purlwise, and then knit in the back of the loop, both of them. So working both through at the same time, and then we're going to slip those 2 stitches back over, and then we're going to work in the back loop of that first stitch. So knit through the back loop, and we've done our decrease, and then place your marker before you slip. So placing marker, and now we can slip that stitch and begin working our next stitch in this series. So we're going to work 5 stitches on this this needle, and then work our decrease, place our marker, and continue on. So you're going to work this round here, and then work another round where you take off all of the stitch markers, and then you're going to continue doing this rounds. So on round 3 that we're on, then you also have round 5 and 7 and 9 and then 10 as your last decrease round. So if you'll go back and refer to the directions, I'll show you exactly how many stitches. It's just 1 less each time. So we're going to continue going around working these, and then I'm going to meet you back up for round 10, which is actually the very last round because it is worked different, and otherwise you're just going to refer to the written directions off to the side of the screen. All right, continue working, and I will see you soon. Okay, so after my round 9, I'm supposed to be ready for round 10. I don't have written in the instructions to add an extra round where you're taking off the stitch markers, so you can go through and take them off, or you can make 1 more round. I felt like I needed just 1 more round before my very last decrease, where we're going to take off about half. So I went ahead and ran another round and then took these off. So now you're done with those. So you'll have to make the decision for your knitting if you think just if you need 1 more row to or round to get a little bit more length. You're going to need a tapestry needle and some scissors because we're going to finish after this round. You should have 21 stitches or 27. I'm working with 27, and we're going to reduce those to 11 and 14. And with the DPNs, it's going to be easier to work this, but if you've got the needles on the circular like I do, then you'll just have to move your stitches around like you may have already been doing. and we're going to do the decrease. You're going to go ahead and just slip purlwise this very first stitch. You may have already done that. That's what I have right now. So I've already slipped that stitch right after this stitch marker. And now I'm going to do that decrease that we did before, except we're just going to keep repeating that. So I'm going to be ready for this one, and no more diamond lace stitch. We're going to slip one knitwise, slip one purlwise, knit through the back loop, and then do that again. Slip one knitwise, slip one purlwise, knit through the back loop, and keep going. So you're just going to be reducing the remaining number of stitches by half. So once you've done that and go to the other side, we're going to finish this last bit up together. See you in a moment. Okay, on my last 2 stitches, and just do the same decrease as before. Okay, and so now we're going to cut a nice long tail, and we're going to pull that on through with our tapestry needle. Okay, and so I'm just going to take my stitch marker off and start pulling it through my remaining stitches. Got myself all tangled up here. All right, pull that on through. And we just take them completely off the needles. You can just slip them off like this as you come around, and then pull through several at a time, and just work your way all the way around. And right now I'm just pulling my needle in the opposite direction here so I can continue going in order. Okay, and then I found this very last one here that it began the whole thing. So just kind of keep my eye on it. I'm going to go through it one more time. And then you're just going to pull that through and go ahead and pull your tail through to the inside and weave it in. And then you've got your nice decreased crown. And it may puff up just a little bit right now, and then this may be a little inconsistent. Mine ends up working out really well once I block it. So I just wash and block it and put it on my little mannequin, and it turns out really pretty. This is one that I washed and blocked. And if you've never blocked a hat before, you want to make sure and use some clean water. You can use a detergent like soak, which is one that you don't have to rinse it out. So you let it soak in your basin and until little bubbles run out, and it's been in there like maybe 15-20 minutes, and take it out and let it wring out in a dry towel. I'll link below to how to wet block. And then for hats, I just come along every 30 minutes or so and put my hand in, and I kind of spin it around and then lay it down on a different side and just kind of give it a little bit of air and make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, and then just come every now and then and kind of run it around in my hand, just kind of stir in the pot and then flatten it down. You know, this is a little color jog that you'll have, but that's just at that back area. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure and click down below and give us your thoughts on that if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, and stay tuned for our next video here on GoodKnit Kisses. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.